The first rule in grip sport is you tell everyone about grip sport.
Crushing, pinch grip, thick bar, wrists.
If the best guy in the world can't lift 100 pounds on it, I don't give a shit about it.
Welcome back to another episode of The Grip Show. Two people that I've had on the show previously before, Haugen, Will Guiliani. And the topic we're going to be discussing right now is some upcoming events and competitions for the LA Fit Expo, which will be taking place towards the end of January. So, Ode, if you wanted to kind of bring up the LA Fit Expo, maybe a little bit of the history of it and kind of what you have coming up this year, the floor is yours.
Yes, it started 21. This is the 21st year, and we've been part of it ever since the beginning. Started with a demo strongman competition. It was just a demo, 3 events, 5 guys that I handpicked, and then from there on, we started having competition, and it became the Haugen All-American Strength Classic, and since then, we have introduced arm lifting and grip in it. We have had the World Championship in the Rolling Thunder almost on an annual basis as a part of it. And it started pretty much with just the Rolling Thunder, but went on to doing the axle and later the Saxon bar and so forth. It's all been happening over many, many, many years. And we have had some of the best athletes in the world, grip athletes in the world competing in it. We've had, Mark Felix, Mike Burke, probably the strongest grip I ever seen, and of course we've had our big, who am I thinking of? The Tower of Blackpool.
Carl,
yeah, I totally missed his name. He's the most current one. All the monsters, and of course Tank has been there many years. Tank Alexei Tukulov has been there many years, and he's coming back this year. And also we have other Russians competing in the past. Of course, Russians competing now is a little more difficult though. Alexei is kind of competing from Finland. He's working for the Finnish embassy or consulate, so that's how he's here. Anyway, the strongman competition is originally was the one that got people into the Arnold Pro show, and many guys used that, like with Nick Best, Brian Shaw, a few other top guys made it into the Arnolds through the All American, but we are winning it. So there's some great history. Now it's more of a pro-am, and it's a qualifier for the Arnold's Amateur World Championship, and it's also a qualifier for the official strongman games. So this is one way, but not only a qualifier for the strongman. The official strongman has very expensive entry fee, but we will pay the entry fee for the winners of our weight classes. So that's a big plus. And people can actually come to one place and qualify for the nationals, amateur worlds, and official strongman game, all in one contest. And we have 7 events and only 6 counts, so you can drop an event. So that's one of the things I've had in the last probably dozen years. I've always had 1 or 2 more events than we counted, just so people had some choices. Anyway, this year we have decided to have Will take care of the grip contest or the arm lifting. So he is in charge, and we're going to put on the world's strongest grip as part of our competition. So I'll give it to Will to explain.
You're also doing the Moss wrestling there.
Oh, yeah. We're also doing the Moss wrestling, and that has been now for over 10 years. We've been doing the Moss wrestling in it. And that's also part of the strongman. So it's a separate championship so people can enter. And we have a few people already entered just for Moss. But all the strongmen can also do Moss. It's one of the events that you could do, which is a smart thing to do. Or if you drop it, you just have to get all the other ends perfect.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, Will, did you want to go into anything else, or kind of lead into maybe the grip portion of it there?
Yeah, so I was, I've been running grip contests for about 4 years now, and they've always been, small local comps, you know, max 12, 15 people typically.
Mhm.
And then I got my first taste of doing a national contest when I ran Grip Sport Nationals this year. And
Yeah.
I really liked getting new people that I've never lifted with before and having people travel across the country uh, to really find out who's the best of the best. So when Ode offered me the opportunity to run a contest at the LA Fit Expo, that's a stage I've never been on before as a promoter. So I was incredibly excited about it. And I wanted to make it, a big spectacle. So right away I was like, hey, let's call it the world's strongest grip. And,
Mhm.
I'll do my best to, make it a competition worthy of that name. And I think it's on its way. So it's going to be 4 events. It's going to be on the Sunday, the day after the strongman events. I think you have one event on the final day or two.
So to still have both the throwing event for height and the mass wrestling on Sunday.
Okay, so in tandem with that, I'll be running the world's strongest grip, and that has 4 events, 3 record breakers with prize money if you break a world record, overall world record,
Mhm.
and that's on on any sanctioning, right? So if it's an arm lifting record or a grip sport record or a West Coast arm sports record, that's the record you're breaking, whatever is the highest one.
Is it
So the
per
first
weight
event
class?
is go
Yeah,
ahead.
but I wasn't quite sure. Is it per weight class?
So the $1,000 prize money for the world record, a successful world record, is only for all-time world records, men and women.
Unlimited weight class.
Yeah, not by weight class.
Okay.
So the first event that's going to have the record breakers is the Rolling Thunder, and I think the current world record holder is Alexei Tukalov, and he will be showing up. So I might have to pay Alexei again. Um, and then the second event is the Iron Mind Apollin's Axle. We're taking it back to the roots of arm lifting and doing the main 3 events. And the third event that has a record breaker is the 3x4 Saxon bar. Now, if you recall, the world record was broken at the LA Fit Expo on the 3x4 Saxon bar by Martins Lisis,
Yeah.
whose booth is going to be right across from this grip event.
I'm
So
sure Ma
there
he'll
might
we'll
be a
get it.
chance
Yeah, we'll get
he
him in.
pokes his head in again.
Okay. Hey, Will, real quick, because he lifted 308 pounds, correct?
Yes.
I believe,
For
yeah,
that,
one
and
140
then
kilo.
okay, now correct me if I'm wrong. Did Carl Myersko come back like during the Super Series or something and outlift that?
Yes.
Yes,
Technically,
Carl
okay.
came to the
Just
training
checking.
hall and during I think it was the first stage of the Super Series, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, and he lifted 142.5 kilograms, and then just sort of held it there and screamed for a while. So that was really awesome to see. So the record that they'll be shooting for is that 142. And just to
Okay.
clarify about the other ones, the current world record for the Rolling Thunder is 130.5 by Alexei Tukalov. And then just this year, the women's world record was broken at a West Coast Armed Sports sanctioned event. And that was done by Hafsa Mason up in Northern California. She hit 80 kilograms. And then the men's axle record is currently held by Carl Myersko at 137.5. and Sarah Chapello has it at 132.5.
237.5.
What's that?
237.5, Carl. Not 137.5.
Oh yeah,
200.
excuse me.
Yeah.
237.5. Sorry, Carl. I don't mean to steal 100 kgs off of you. And then the Sax bar records are 142.5 and 83.55 again by Carl and Sarah.
Okay.
So those are the records that people are going to be trying to break. So I have already $3,000, a little over $3,000 in cash and prizes for this contest. When I first launched this contest, I put $2,000 of my own money. $1,000 will be set aside for the record breakers, and $1,000 will be set aside for podium placements. If no one breaks a record, that $1,000 will then be again dissipated into the podium placements.
Okay.
Now it's interesting. This is how the money for the world records is going to go. If Gabby Dixon, who's coming, comes and she sets a world record on the axle or something, she will get $1,000. If she sets another world record on a Rolling Thunder, she keeps $1,000. It's just $1,000. However, if Alexi breaks the Rolling Thunder world record and Gabby Dixon breaks the axle record, they'll each get $500. So it almost behooves you to set more world records to kind of defend your money.
Okay. Gotcha.
So that I think it'll be interesting to see how that all shakes out. Now, there is a fourth. I guess I can debut it. I can tell you guys what it is. A little grip show exclusive. How about that?
That's fine. That works for me.
There's a fourth event, and it's only been explained as a hold for time currently. Now Ode's competition also has a hold for time. It's a 2-inch Napalm Nightmare wrecking ball hold
All
standing
right.
atop 2 power stairs.
Mhm.
And I did that last year, and man, it sucked. I think I held like 380 pounds for about 50 seconds or something. And then I had cuts in my thighs from where I was bracing the implement against my leg so hard for so long. So this year I was like, I'd like to use that apparatus still, but kind of do a more pure grip event. So what I'm doing, raw form strength, the guy out on the other side of overseas, he's like a
Yeah.
blacksmith guy. He
He
has an
makes like the
Excalibur.
Excalibur stuff, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
So
I know you're talking about.
I'm using one of his Excaliburs, and it's going to be a one-handed hold for time. So like you're going to pick the thing up and you're going to hold it, right? And you're going to be straddling those power stairs, so you'll be about 6 feet off the ground, and the weight will be between you. And you don't have to hold it at lockout. You can like be braced or bent
Okay.
over or hunched or whatever, as long
As
as it's
long
in
as you
your
just
hand
have the weight
off the
cleared.
ground.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
makes sense.
So I really think that's going to be a fun event. Now I'm going to be still doing, I haven't decided on the weights yet. I have an idea, but I'm going to be shipping this Excalibur out to a couple of really strong guys that I know are not going to be participating, like Carl and Jalen. So they've been nice enough to volunteer to equipment test. So I'm going to ship it out to them and like see what the best guys in the world can hold for. Like you look at a hold for time in World's Strongest Man or something, and it really gets exciting around that 52 to 65 second mark, because
Mhm.
Yeah.
then you've really given it your all. So I'd like to see what sort of weights they can hold for that long, and then kind of use that as a kind of guiding light to figure out what the weight's going to be. Now the weight is going to take shape in the form of a natural stone that's going to be drilled out and have a little eye
Mhm.
bolt in there, and then there's going to be the Excalibur will be attached to a long chain.
All right.
So I'm calling it the sword and the stone hold for time. And it's going to be the last event. And we're going to be doing reverse strongman scoring. So I think, that last event can really be a difference breaker. It can, land someone on or off the podium or in the spot they want to be.
Yeah, no, for sure, man. Yeah, I think I think it's a cool idea. Now, I know like for wrecking ball holds sometimes where you have like two hands and you're kind of pulling it in. Like you mentioned, there'll be some body contact. Are you going to be like trying to make sure that they're like just holding it with their hand and there's no body contact for that? Or how are you
Exactly.
working that?
They'll be explicitly stated no body contact.
Okay.
And the beauty of
Yep.
it being like a one-handed hold where, your legs are kind of spread open and
Yeah.
it being a vertical hold is that it's just going to be kind of straight down in front of you. And I tested a little bit. I found it really hard and almost disadvantageous to attempt to do some sort of bracing. Um,
Yeah. Well, and you mentioned it's going to be kind of elevated as well, too. I feel like that would make it tough, so I think it'll kind of take care of itself, with that being
right.
mentioned.
You're good at cheating, so you were not able to cheat on it.
No, I mean, I could figure something out, but Ode's right. I am really good at cheating. No, no,
Uh,
my mom was a lawyer, so I grew up learning how to, you know, play within the rules.
okay.
So that's why I'm pretty good about making rules when I run a contest. So it will be explicitly stated that but I am intentionally allowing some trickery. Like there's things I'm not saying just to see if it'll happen. And maybe after this contest, if it doesn't happen, I can let you know what I was thinking. But
Okay.
but yeah, so you can only have one hand on it at a time, and it can't be braced up against your body at all.
All right. And then for this, I think you sent me a list so far, and you have like, probably like over 20 or about mid 20s for signups right now. And you
Correct.
had mentioned that, certain weight classes that were kind of really developed and kind of stacked, and then other weight classes were needing some more participation. Did you want to kind of just cover any of that in detail or kind of just break down
Yeah,
maybe
absolutely,
who's already
absolutely.
committed?
Yeah, sure. I mean, let me sort this sheet by weight class. That might make this a little bit easier. So I'm really proud of the women's class. There's two weight classes, and I don't know whom's in whom because they signed up pretty far away from the contest. I'm going to give them time to
Mhm.
figure out where they want to be. But there are two women's weight class, under 80 and over 80. Um, and we have Alicia Martin, who just competed at the Olympia and did very well. We have Hafsa Mason, who just broke the Rolling Thunder world record. We have Helen Nguyen, who's I think in her first year became ranked like fourth overall for all women in grip, according to
Yeah,
Erica
she
Singh's
just did
sheet.
yeah, she just did really well at the Olympia also.
Absolutely. And
Yep.
she had a good placement in King Kong as well.
Yep.
Um, and Corinne Lalonde from Canada, the Spartan racer turned grip athlete.
Hmm.
She's fun to watch. Jarvina Rout, she's a really talented grip athlete. Her hands are enormous, and she comes from a Highland Games background. There's Lindsay Hall, who's a Southern California strong woman, and I think most of
Northern
us.
California. Is from Sacramento.
Oh, she's from Northern California. My bad, Lindsay. I'm sorry. I'm good at world geography.
Yeah,
And
Sacramento is
then
in Northern California.
and then we have Gabby Dixon signed up, the pro strongwoman who has beaten many men in Hercules hold and just had a
Hmm.
fantastic performance last winter at the Winter Grip Games up in Sweden. Um,
Yep.
so I'm really proud of the women's class that we've put together. There's rumors we might have some Olympians joining. Kyra Condi is an Olympic climber, and I just shipped her a Rolling Thunder and helped her get a Saxon bar from Nemesis Grips to train on. So, hopefully she'll be able to make it out. And another really high level climber and a friend of hers, Allison Best. So, Kyra was I just met her by chance at last year's LA Fit Expo. She was walking around and Ben Galper was like, "Hey, you should go see what she can lift on the Napalm's Nightmare." And I was like, "Who's she?" She was like, "She's an Olympic climber." I was like, "Okay." So I brought her over and like she just picked up 350 like it was nobody's business at
Yeah.
like a 60 kilo or less body weight. Just nuts.
Yeah, no, that's
Um,
good. Will, I was gonna say, man, I had Tammy McClure on the show recently talking about her King Kong performance. Tammy mentioned it wasn't definite, but she said that it's tempting. She said you're doing a good job of promoting, and that she might be making the trip to California possibly. So Tammy might
Maybe.
jump in that under 80 class. You
well,
never know.
Tammy, if you're listening, I would love to have you.
And
But Tammy
Yeah,
then
needs to be there.
go
Tammy
ahead,
needs to
Ode.
be. I said Tammy needs to be here. She needs to come.
She does. And then so we have then the men's. Oh, and any other women, please sign up. I'd whatever your level or interest, even if you're just gonna yawn your way through it, like we'll pump you up. Like if you're like a wife or a girlfriend of one of the male athletes, just sign up. If you're someone's mom, just register. It's a fun time. We're not going to kill you. Um, so we go moving into the men's athletes. We have a guy, sorry if I'm just ignorant, but I've never heard of this guy. His name is Chris Saenz, Saenz. I tried to look him up on social media and I didn't find any presence, and I couldn't find him in any uh like contest results from lately. So
The
this might
last
just
name
be
sounds familiar.
yeah.
His name sounds familiar, but I can't place him.
yeah, and me personally, Will, I feel like I maybe have heard the name, or maybe I'm confusing it with someone else. But yeah, I don't really have anything to add there as far as, knowing anything that maybe you guys don't. So mystery.
Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for signing up. I look forward to seeing you. And then there's another guy who signed up, and I think this is his first grip contest. And I think I didn't catch his weight class yet, but by the looks of things, I think he's our sole 120 plus competitor. So if you're a super heavyweight and you want the title of world's strongest grip, you just got to beat one guy who's probably never done it before. Um, but Vache, his name is Vache Sevagian. Vache Sevagian, I
Mhm.
I think. And I asked him about his athletic background, and I think he comes from like a track and field background, like maybe he was a shot putter or something. I know he follows Carl, so maybe they're buddies, and Carl told him to sign up. Um, but yeah, so I'm excited to see what he can put together. And then as we go into the 120 kilo class, oh, so the men's class is 120 plus 120, 100 kilo, and 80.
Mhm.
Regardless of, because it's dual sanctioned, tri-sanctioned really, because it's tri-sanctioned, whatever you weigh will go to whatever thing. So like 83 records and 80 records and 93
Yeah.
records, those will all count. But I'm using these groupings just for simplicity and not to dilute the prize money too much with too many weight classes. So then down to the 120 kilo class, we're also running masters, is Ode Haugen himself. Now, Ode, how do you think you're going to do? Are you training for this?
Uh, I'm a little concerned. My deadlift, I'll probably, I hope I can deadlift the highest Saxon bar. So the axle is a problem. I'm trying to get it back, but we'll do best I can.
Are you going to give us a clue on what you're pulling right now on the axle?
I'm not pulled on the axle. I haven't done the regular deadlift. I'm doing 5 reps around 150 kilos.
Well, that's good. You're
Yeah,
just
that's not good.
repping
That's
out.
not good. That's not good for me. It's
Yeah, I mean,
my fifth, my my
hey,
fifth, my fifth rep is like a max lift, man. It's like amazing. How heavy it feels. But it's gonna be better. I'll keep at it. I'll keep going up.
hmm, good. So another competitor we have in the 120 kilo class is Matt Arbogast. Now he's competed in Moss and strongman and grip and all sorts of strength stuff. So he's just a general all around good strength athlete. Um, and we have Alexei Tukalov, who is yeah, you don't really have to say much about Alexei
Yeah, I mean,
Tukalov.
he's everything he's been doing lately. He's pretty
He's the
much been at
best,
the top of. So he's right there. Yeah, he's
and he will weigh
have
more
to
than
be.
120. He'll be in a higher weight class.
He's
I'll
gonna weigh
feed him.
more than 120.
Yeah, I'm gonna feed him. I'll
You're
give
gonna
him
feed him.
a dinosaur.
Yeah, make him eat.
Well, no, like I mean, I'm almost tempted. I'm 190 pounds right now. I lost 60 pounds this year. I've never been this small but this strong. I'm very excited. But I'm tempted to bulk to 120 or at least 101, just so I could be on a podium with Alexi and Ode. I think that would be kind of a career high picture there. Um, but maybe Andy Muncie will miss weight and I'll get kicked off the podium.
It's a gamble, man. And Andy's a strong guy too.
And he was. Did you see how big he was at the Olympia?
I caught some of his lifts, but yeah, man, he's always been real stocky. I mean, kind of just thick, muscular, still
Yeah,
lean. I mean, yeah,
So
Andy's
Andy is
strong.
coming down. Andy is coming down, of course. So he's coming because he's not competing in strongman. He's only competing in grip.
Mhm.
okay. So that's our 120 kilo class. It's Alexi, Matt, Ode. That's it. Um, so now this is the other thing that I'm really proud of is this 100 kilo class. And maybe Zach, you can like just offhand do some predictions after I tell you the names because I've already made a list myself.
Okay.
We have from Canada Eric Singh,
Oh my God. Yeah.
Andy Muncie, Ivan Cuck, Mark Hills from California, Travis Winand from California, Elijah Persons from California, Marcus Ekholm from Sweden, and did I'm missing one? Eric, Marcus, Andy, Mark, Ivan, Travis, myself, and Elijah Well. So a little bit about the California dudes. Elijah Well, I met last year at the LA Fit Expo. He stopped by the training hall booth, and Ode always has like blobs and inch dumbbells just sitting around. And
Mhm.
I walked by, and there was this tall, buff kid with long dreadlocks just toying with the inch dumbbell, like picking it up 3 or 4 times. And I was like, oh my God, that's incredible. He was like, yeah, this is like the fifth time I've stopped by this booth today. I can't stop picking it up. And I was like, that's pretty crazy. And then I recruited him immediately, 19-year-old kid, and he's been just so powerful. Like the contests that he's competed with me have not been his strong suit. His strong suit is really just the raw power lifts, like the pinching
Mhm.
and thick bar and rolling handles. But like in King Kong, he had really great lifts on the pinch block and the rolling handle, and then like the technical lifts, like the finish ball and the little bighorn, is what knocked
Yeah.
him down a bit. But like in this contest setup is kind of suited for him, so he could be pretty scary. I think he can pull 100 kilos on the Rolling Thunder. Um, Myself,
Okay.
I'm probably going to be last, if not second to last. Um, Travis Wynand, he's, a grip veteran out here in the West Coast. He doesn't do a lot of the travel comps, but he always shows up for the local ones. And Mark Hills is new on the scene as well with a climbing background, but,
He's a
very
strong dude.
strong
I've seen
deadlifter.
I've seen some videos of him lifting some stuff and seen some of his numbers around. So yeah, he's another strong guy for sure. Um, man, if you want my personal opinion, this is me just giving a rough prediction. There could be more people
Yeah,
that
do it.
sign up. Man, uh, I think it's going to come down to man. Ivan has been so tough lately, and he's been training very hard, and he doesn't compete so often that he's getting broken down or worn down trying to train so specific for certain things. He's really been kind of focusing towards the Arnold or this competition, which are similar events. And I'm going to go with Yvonne or Eric Rusain. Just Yvonne off of really the fact that he's young and he just keeps going. And I think he'll be able to keep the axle and rolling handle close enough with Eric, and I think that he can beat him on the Saxon. Um, the wild card for me would be Andy Muncie because on any given day, I think Andy Muncie could beat those two guys as well. So those would be my top three. Now, like I said, I'm not as familiar with the newer kid you've mentioned, but you never know. I mean, when these guys come out of nowhere and surprise you, it has to happen at some point, so
Mhm.
we'll see. But yeah. How do you pronounce that name? Is it Elijah or
Yeah, Elijah Well.
okay, yeah, Elijah Will. So he may come through and kind of shock everybody, maybe similar to how Carter Colo did for King Kong last year when he took third, or he won it this year. When people pop up, they just pop up, So he could shake some things up for sure, especially having a strong deadlift. Um, uh, Mark Hills in
Yeah,
the in the
I think
mix,
I think
strong,
I think Elijah Well, I saw a video of him uh double overhanding 5 plates at the Anaheim Expo.
yeah,
That's just
yeah.
crazy.
No, yeah, he
What
has the body, he has the body strength. It's just a matter of, on that axle or picking your jumps against those other guys. And
Right.
when you get
I think it's going
against
to come down
someone,
to like contest experience. So like,
yeah, and that's where
I'm
Eric really shines for me.
Yeah,
Eric's
yeah,
been
that's
doing
why
this
I
for
would.
a long
That's
time.
why I would pick Eric. I mean, he's
Yeah,
good at winning.
Eric's tough to beat. I just Yvonne has been lifting so heavy on the Saxon lately. I think he's going to take that event no matter what, and then it just kind of depends on how the rolling handle and axle and that timed hold event maybe shake up. But I would say at 100 kilos, uh, Ivan Shuk is going to probably have the biggest Saxon lift. That would be my prediction. But yeah, like I said, guys like the Elijah Mark, Travis Winan, those dudes are all super strong and kind of hovering around. But I still think there's a little bit of a gap between those guys and like the Eric Rusains, Andy Muncie's, and Yvonne's. So, like I said, those would be my top three for that class, leaning towards Eric and Yvonne probably. Yvonne, especially because I think he's going to get some big points on Saxon. And I think his other lifts are going to be on par that even if he
Okay.
does miss by a bit, he'll probably
Well,
be
can I
right
ask you a
there.
question? Can I ask
Yeah.
Will a question?
Yeah, for sure.
Chris Sands, where is he from? Is he from
yeah,
Arizona?
I have no idea. I didn't collect that information yet. I'm going to email all the
There's
competitors.
a Chris Sands. Probably the reason why we know him. He was a major league baseball player. He is like in
Oh,
his
no
early
kidding.
40s, his early 40s, and live in Tucson, Arizona, or
Interesting.
born in Tucson, Arizona. I don't know where he lives.
Well, that would be cool to have a former Major League Baseball player and a former World's Strongest Man at the same contest.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be my rough like 2 cents for breaking down the 100 kilo class. But like I said, I would put it
Yeah,
between those three
I
guys.
totally agree with you on that
You
one,
know,
two, three, Ivan, Eric, and Andy. And then I think it's really just going to be a fight for the 4, 5, 6, 7 spots for the local boys.
Oh, it's going to be super competitive there for sure. Yeah, it's going to be exciting to see.
Yeah, I'm placing myself a little bit lower. Like my axle's gotten better, my Rolling Thunder's gotten better, and hopefully my Saxon will get better one of these days. The
Well,
three by
I know you.
fours.
I was gonna say I know you like the 2-inch Saxon better than the 3-inch, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm
And,
uh
and,
I'm
and
I'm working with W right now on getting my Saxon better. So I'm training on the 2 by 5 and doing like some more thumb accessories and things like that. So well,
You're not teaming up with Ode to get better at Saxon?
Ode, I can't afford Ode.
I have a question for you. Why not doing a percentage scoring?
I'm not doing percentage scoring Ode because it's too difficult.
What's so difficult about it?
Well, I just don't want to do it. I just want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, up and down, and then that's it. That's how I want to do it.
Well, that could also maybe change my 100 kilo predictions because I'm thinking about how big the gap would be at Saxon with Yvonne, and
Yeah,
maybe that would give him more points. So
it won't give it
going
any more
back to
point this way. Yeah,
yeah, so Will, that might change it up then,
yeah.
because a lot of these guys might.
You don't get credit for outstanding results.
Yeah, no, for sure. So that could definitely change it up too, because I think some of those guys are going to tie on axle, and they might even tie on the rolling handle, and it might come down to a timed holder, the Saxon, that really kind of separates them. So
You can
Exactly. And I
and
go
you
ahead.
can score it. You can score it on the strength results when we're doing the strongman, and the percentage is automatically calculated through the whole thing. You put all the women in one group and all the men in one, and separate them out by weight classes. Very simple.
Well, I have it advertised as reverse strongman. I've talked to some other, grip promoters and contest runners and got their advice about that as well. And I'm happy with my decision, but if you twist my arm hard enough, Ode, it is under the Ode Haugen Strength Classic. So
Yeah,
you might.
I only think the reason why I'm pushing for it would be if we could do the same thing in strongman, we would do the same thing, but we can't do it because you don't have terminate events. You don't have weight to
Can I actually be honest why it's reverse strongman and not percentage based?
but
Because last year at the LA Fit Expo, I won 2 out of the 3 events and lost the contest. That's why.
but yeah, on the grip side,
Yeah, so I beat it was me and Mark were going for Mark Hill's going for first and second, and I beat him on the Rolling Thunder, and I beat him on the axle, but he smashed me by like 20 kilos on the Saxon bar, and that
that's
was
a,
enough for him to win.
that's absolutely the reason why you should do it by percentage.
I'm bitter, Ode. I'm bitter.
You can have a revenge tour here.
um, but yeah, so
So
and then
to be honest with you, the
yeah.
strongman, if we could, I would do the strongman on percentage by basis too, but you can't do it because of the events.
Well, I'll think about it more, and if there is a change, I will let everybody know. So we have currently 8 people in this 100 kilo class. I think it's one of the most stacked classes I've seen in my time. Um, and then we another weight class that we have is the 80 kilo, and we're in a bit of a drought with that one as well. So I'm really looking for more 120 pluses, more 120s, and more 80s. Heck, even more hundreds is fine. I don't care. But
Yeah.
let's let's try and tell our lightweight and heavyweight friends to sign up.
So,
So
yeah,
for the 80
surprised that you
kilo,
don't have any more 120 plus.
yeah, we need that too.
Yeah, should be the easiest one to get people from. You can
Yeah,
get the
if I don't
recruit.
get
There are a lot of strongmen coming, so you can get recruit them in the day of.
okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to be, running around the day before trying to get people interested in the contest. Like I'll probably be hanging out by your grip booth, and anybody that lifts the inch, I'll just be like, "Hey, you want to compete?"
Yeah.
Um, but so for the 80 kilo class, we have just two people, but they're incredibly high level. We have Mr. King Kong, William Reed, and Ben Galper,
Mhm.
who's I think who's fairly suited to this contest. I think he's
Yeah.
another one who's really good at those raw power lifts, where alternatively William Reed is more of the technical expert, including being pretty darn powerful. So
I was gonna say, yeah,
I
well, Will's pretty well rounded. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like he's, especially if you go by weight class, man. Will's always lifted really well and really tough. I agree. Like I mean, Ben's probably got him on like the axle, or you know what I mean, when you go a little bit more into that body
raw
strength type
deadlift
stuff.
power. Yeah,
But yeah, but what Will's no
Yeah, it was
slouch there. I mean,
just before we started the call. Ben was trying 555 double overhead on the bar.
Ugh.
Got it off the ground. Did 510 first though.
Wow, man. I
but yeah, Will, anything else to add other than kind of just like you said, kind of giving a quick rundown of the weight classes and stuff like that. You've covered the prize money. Um, anything
Yeah, I wanted to
sponsor
talk about
wise?
I wanted to talk about some of the prizes and the sponsors that we have. So Nemesis Grips is sponsoring the event, and I think is close to like $700 in gift cards for podium placers. Not for one person, but like spread
Mhm.
across.
Yeah.
Um, Iron Mind is Randall from Iron Mind is generous enough to sponsor um, for winners of the Iron Mind events. And he said that there'll be some other prizes as well. So I'm excited to see what those are going to be. Um, a competitor who would be in the 80 kilo class if it wasn't for his dad's birthday being the same weekend is Steve Gasper with Steve Gasper Nutrition has generously offered three either he's going to give out three packages, either a month-long nutrition like diagnostic or a competition weight cut. Now I know that he's helped me cut weight. He's helped William Reed cut weight for competitions. He's helped Sarah Toledo cut weight for competitions. He's helped Ryan Gravichak, one of the Canadian athlete,
Mhm.
helped him cut for the World Games. And he's great. He really holds your hand through the process and makes it kind of mindless. And you just do what he says, and you'll be where you need to be on the day. So I've been relying on him lately to get me where I need to be for my contests. So I think it's awesome that he's helping out the contest by sponsoring it. And if you're a sponsor, if you additionally, the Goddesses of Grip Instagram page has donated $100. So the winner of each weight class for the women will get an additional $50 added to their prize pool.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you're a sponsor or know a sponsor or just have a lot of money and want to give it to the contest, it will go directly to the prize fund. I'm not taking no dollars. It's all going in. So I called the Los Angeles District Attorney's office to check in on the legality. Have you ever been to a baseball game, Zach?
Yeah, I played baseball like my whole life, and then I've
No,
also
like
been
a
to
pro, like an MLB baseball game.
well, yes, I've been to several MLB baseball games.
Lately they've been doing those 50-50 raffles.
Yeah, and they do that for like I mean, a lot of sports events and stuff. Yeah, we'll raffle stuff off. I got you.
I called, I was like, can we do a 50-50 raffle at my grip contest? And they're like, nope.
Huh.
I guess
I feel like you should be able to
you,
do whatever you want, but hey, I don't know. I don't make the rules.
yeah. I'm
Illegal
still trying
gambling.
to think of fun and creative ways to get that prize pool growing.
Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, man, with it still being, I mean, a few months out technically. Yeah,
A
I'll
little
probably
over
get
two
with you.
months.
I'll get with you offline about the grip show, throwing some stuff in there as well.
Well, that
So
would be
that
really awesome, Zach.
we don't have to
Thank you
sort it
so
out
much.
now. You know what I mean? But we'll sort it out when we get done. You know. So yeah, because I'd like to help out. You know. So um, but yeah, is there anything else to really add, or do you guys feel pretty good with that as far as just getting that information out? Um, like I said, anything else you can think of, throw it out there. If not, we could kind of just kind of summarize and wrap it up with that. Then
It's all the information on all the contests are on odhaugen.com and on the traininghall.net and the grip contest only, I guess, is on the West Coast. What's your
West
website?
Coast Arm Sports. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But all of his stuff is on the training hall and on the odhaugen.com as
Okay.
well. The links to sign up and as well as all the information.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, hey, if anybody's listening in and you have that slot free on your calendar, whether you're a amateur, professional strongman, Moss wrestling, into grip sport, arm lifting, whatever it may be. If you're somebody that's a strength athlete in general and you like kind of being at those bigger expos around people like that, you know, competing, check out the websites that Ode just mentioned. Check in with Will for the grip stuff. And yeah, like I said, hopefully we'll get those turnouts a little bit bigger. And like I said, just kind of see how everything kind of pans out, trying to get, you know, some of the strongest people in the same room.
Yeah,
Like I
I
said, I think
mean,
it's always
it's you
interesting.
know, as you know as well as anybody, Zach, this has been a year for big competitions. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
With the
been,
the
been pretty
Arnold
stacked.
and the Shaw and the Olympia, and now like this one's just popping up, and
Yeah.
nationals
I was
and
gonna say,
North
yeah,
Americans.
you hosted nationals. The North Americans in Canada was big. I mean, there's been some big competitions and serious lifts going on this year. It's been a good year for grip strength in general, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely getting to be a crowded calendar. And I hope competitors that have focused on one or two shows every year for the last 4 or 5 years. If they can't make it out this year, if they could slot this in their calendar next year, because we have prize money. It's a big expo show. There's going to be hundreds of people in the crowd. There's hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people that are going to show up at this expo. It's Los
Yeah, it's a hundred
Angeles.
thousand. They have it from 80 to 100,000 per weekend.
Can
It's
you
a
repeat
good.
that, Ode?
They're from 80 to 100,000 people come through. So
Wow.
we have good crowds.
So, like I said, if you're not able to make it out this year, I'm going to be running it next year. It's going to be bigger. It's going to be better. It's going to have more international athletes. And you know, I think this could really turn into a contest worthy of its name, the world's strongest grip.
And anyone entering any of the contests gets free entrance to the Fit Expo as well, so you don't have to pay to get in there.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
right. And do you
Say
have a
that
hotel
that's worth
deal,
mentioning.
Ode?
Huh? What's
Do you
that?
have, is there a hotel deal?
Yeah, there are hotel deals too. I don't know how good they are. The one we're staying, we have a hotel at the Biltmore, but on the website, on well both on the grip and on the All American show, there's a link to hotels, and there's a number of different hotels, but the Biltmore is the one we always stayed in. But I'm staying down there for the weekend.
All right. Well, like I said, I said if you guys feel good with
I'll
that
get you
info
a
put
room. I'll
out.
get you a room too, Will. You'll have a room there, at least for one
Okay.
night if you need it. You do it for me for Saturday night. Just remind me to get you a room.
But yeah, if like I said, if you guys feel pretty good with that summary, kind of, if there's anything last minute you could think of, throw it out. If not, then like I said, I feel like we kind of covered things pretty well. and put some information out there. And if anybody has any questions, they can reach out to any of us, and we can kind of steer them along. But like I said, the info is going to be in the video. It's going to be posted, leading up to the competition more and more. So, yeah, like I said, thank you guys for coming on the show, and appreciate you guys, kind of building the sport up, doing, a lot of different facets of strength as well, and kind of continuing to just kind of push this kind of stuff and make competitions and, just putting strength first and kind of making it something that, I don't know, the veterans can compete in, but then also, like we've mentioned, a lot of new lifters coming up and just introducing them to that. So I think it's a win-win for everybody.
And I just want to point out one thing: in the strongman, in the deadlift ladder, the third deadlift is a Saxon bar deadlift.
Oh wow.
So for you to be able to do the fourth lift, you have to get through the Saxon bar as well. So it'll create more grip guys. But my theory is that from testing people out, strongman, people that are really strong, they're not all just juiced and on straps, will do very good on Saxon bar. Saxon bar is a very non-technical event in a sense. If you have the pure strength in your hands, you can lift heavy on it. I put it in front of people, and I've seen guys that look like they wouldn't be a good grip guys, but man, they can do 100, 110 kilo on the Saxon bar. So this is going to be the first time it's in a strongman deadlift ladder.
Is this will these attempts be kept in like the arm lifting USA records, or is this
No, these will not
outside
be
of
attempts. These will not be attempts. You have to run through as fast as possible running, and when you get to the Saxon bar, you have to lift it, you get a down signal, and you go on to the next one.
Wow.
Which would be like a deadlift bar with the big wheels on them.
Do you know the weight of the Saxon yet for the weight
Some
classes?
of them, yeah. I know the heavyweight guys have to do 100 kilo.
Ooh.
I think the middleweight are I think 85 or 90 a kilo probably.
I mean, that would stop me, and I'm a grip guy.
Yeah, but the heavyweight.
That's true.
You probably wouldn't have gotten to the Saxon bar because of the other deadlift you had to do before you get
the deadlifts before that.
Thanks,
neither you or I would have gotten to it. I'm right there with you, Will. The Saxon bar would be easy peasy for me, but the other two lifts would probably stop me right in the track. I'm old and broken down.
We still love you.
Man. So
All
yeah,
right.
hey guys,
Thank you.
like I said,
Thank you.
we could go ahead and probably sign off with that. And if you guys need any help setting anything up, or Will, like for sponsoring for the competition and stuff, we'll be in touch. But like I said, I'll probably get this out as soon as I can. And really appreciate you guys, hosting these type of things, putting it out there for everybody, giving people a platform to compete. And yeah, best of luck, hosting it, running it, competing in both of them, or whatever, whatever you guys are competing in as well. I wish you the best, and hopefully your training continues to go well up into the competitions.
All right. Thank you so much, Zach. I'm really happy to be on the show and talk about the contest. And thank you very much, Ode, for giving me the opportunity to run the contest at your show.
Well, you deserve the opportunity. No, you can run with it. You get a percentage scoring in there, I'll be happy. No, first for me, the strongman would be probably a better way for me, but it's not about me. It's about I think the best way of running a contest is by giving proper weight to each event.
Mm-hmm.
Just my thought.
All right, like I said, hey, thank you guys, and like I said, we'll keep updates going for it, and we will definitely be tuning in to see how the results pan out when everything's said and done. So I'll probably look forward to talking to both of you guys again at some point about your performances and how everybody else did. So like I said, in the future, I'm sure we'll be in touch. Yep.
Hey, thank you.